600.
Hello, Darren. Are we live on the air? All right. Well, hello and welcome to Catholic Answers Live. We're starting a little early because it's Pledge Week, and we usually start a little early on Pledge Week. And guess who's back? I'm so excited to get to share the studio once again with Tim Staples, el número uno, Tim Staples. Hi,
You're
Tim.
not as excited as I am.
Really?
Yes.
All right. You want to arm wrestle? No.
Because I am glad to be back.
I
was telling Tim Ryland earlier, you know, some people sing in the shower.
Yeah.
I answer questions in the shower. I imagine radio callers and then I'm answering questions on why you call priests.
1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse.
No, it's
good to have you back.
Man,
It really.
it's fantastic to be back.
Yeah, good. And of course, we bring you back and put you immediately
In the
to the
fire.
work of raising the money. Yep. So you better do a good job.
So people, why don't you call right now and give some money?
Yeah, a little welcome back money for Tim Staples. The way you call, you can. There's people already on the line ready to take your calls. Those are our colleagues here at Catholic Answers who man the phones.
Yeah.
888-291-8000 is the number. Or you can always go safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
And I heard Trent Horn showed up here, huh?
And he did a very fine job.
As always.
He did a very fine job. Yeah, it was nice to do a first day with him. And we just let the audience know whatever the hourly goals are, our overall goal is 200,000. And so we know kind of where we got to be each day. And the first day is hard work. First day is hard work. But it was $54,000 at the end of the day.
That's
so
great.
Less than 150 to do in 2 days.
Yeah.
So if we have really
That's
good solid days,
fantastic.
we'll be
Amen.
okay. Yeah. So we feel good about it after the first day.
Yeah, but I never feel good about it.
No, I forgot that. You never do feel. Oh, welcome back, Tim, to anxiety. I forgot that you.
I don't feel good about it until like 3 days afterward. I want to know where every dollar is and
I
how
think
many
that's
we brought in.
reflective of the reality that, like, we actually pay our bills with this money. Like people,
Yes.
I never feel bad asking for the money because it's not like, and to help build up our endowment. No, we have to pay the bills for the next 3 months, and so it does come with a certain amount of actual real anxiety.
Yeah, amen. And as always, there's never been a more important time than now for the gospel to be communicated. You know, culturally we're spiraling out of control, and there's just so much mess in our culture. And man, when you turn on Catholic Answers Live and you can hear the purity of the gospel, it's like it really is heaven on earth. You know, it's peace, it's truth, it's joy. Where else do you get that? At least on the airwaves. You're not going to get that, you know. I mean, you get chaos and anger and fighting and, and chaos and confusion.
deception. A lot of deception.
Absolute. the father of lies is rejoicing. But we have this, in our one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, we have this niche. And of course, it's more than a niche. We are nationwide. And unfortunately, the airwaves are generally controlled by the enemy of our souls. But man, it's just such a wonderful thing that people can turn this on, whether it's online or the terrestrial stations, wherever it is, your app, your phone. It's like a breath of fresh air. I know it is for me, and I know it is for my wife. When we've been, or I've been on my sabbatical and such, Val never misses. She always, even if we're out and about somewhere, she has that phone and turns it on, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful because you have that clarity. When it's Catholic Answers, when my wife has her phone, there's Catholic Answers, because the conversation is so elevated all the time. And we have our banter and we have our fun.
Right.
But there's something so beautiful about it. We are really blessed, folks, all of you that are watching right now, the show before the show. What do we call this?
Yeah, we call this the show before the show.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the show before the show. Hey, it's been a while.
Yeah.
You're blessed, and we're blessed, but we got to keep it going, man. So you guys jump on. We do have some phone lines open right now, so feel free. 888-291-8000. We need to hear from you. It's time to proclaim the Word of God.
Praise God, it is. I'm going to check on Facebook and YouTube, see if there's anybody to say hello to over there. So if you want to say hello, go ahead and do that. But it's going to take me a second to log in because I was not quite prepared when I went on the air. I'd like to say hello to anybody who's there visiting with us, and we're glad you're here. Second day of our pledge drive. So we only do this for 3 days every 3 months. And for those 6 hours, we only take a part of each hour to do it. And thus far, that formula has worked. We're able to continue to do our regular work and also raise the money. So that's what we're hoping for today.
And do we have a match?
What's the first hour match today?
1
billion?
$1.50?
$1.50. 15,000. 15,000 for the first hour. Yeah.
All right.
$15,000 dollar for dollar match, and that's on now. Like it counts now. That the hour actually starts before the hour, but you're welcome to call 888-291-8000, or as I said, and I love to say it this way, safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
Sai, I missed everything about this. I missed looking at that screen and seeing the green lights.
But there's a red light.
There's a red light.
Red light is good. That means
our first caller has called in before the broadcast even begins. This is exciting. I tell you, I missed all of this, Sai. I even missed Cy Kellett, believe it or not.
That seems unlikely.
As annoying as he can be, I really did miss him.
That's a beautiful testament to something. All right, I'm going to tell you some people who said, I'll go over to YouTube in a second, but over on Facebook, Kathy said hi first. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's a good friend. We see a lot on Facebook. Let me see. She also gave us a red heart, which I believe signifies love. Let me see. Who else we got here? Welcome back, Tim. That's Katrina. Delighted you are back.
Thank you, Katrina.
All of us are Katrina. George, our friend George. You know George, who wears the fancy shirts?
George, absolutely, my bud.
Hi, Cy and Tim. And then Steve said, great to see Tim. Yeah, thanks, Steve. I'm here too, right? No.
Cy's always here.
Sebastian says hi. Katrina also said hi to me. John said, good to see Tim back.
Right on.
A bunch of others. I'm going to, at least Tim didn't kill Cy. Yes, thank you. But we're still early in the program. But thank you for noticing that. I'm going to go over to YouTube, also called Catholic Hunger Games over there on YouTube. I'll go there and see what they're doing. So we got you back, huh?
It's good to be back.
What if you forgot all the answers?
You
don't know.
We'll have to find out.
What if you're like, the people are like, they...
That's why I've been
Tim,
practicing.
Is purgatory in the Bible? I can't remember.
That's why I've been practicing in the shower,
Okay,
man.
that's a good idea. I'm glad you did. I'm so happy. Already some calls coming in, so we're already doing good. Yeah. All right, I got to find us on YouTube. It's taking me a minute.
Tell you what, man, it's exciting to see the bishops and our Holy Father are really. Doesn't it seem, my friend, that Of course, I mean, we've been here 2,000 years, right, proclaiming the same gospel. But I tell you, I love it when I see the bishops talking about, giving communion or not to Joe Biden and to politicians in general.
Yeah, it's about time.
It really is about time. And it's not surprising. I've been asked this already many times, and I know we're running out of time here, but maybe we can talk about that a little bit. But it's not surprising to me at all because we have a new situation here.
Yeah, this is a different situation. That's a good point, right?
We have a Catholic president. This is new since, John F. Kennedy. And let's face it, John F. Kennedy didn't have 1,000th of the problems we have with our present fellow occupying the White House.
Yeah.
I mean, with it's really, really scandalous. The most pro-abortion president ever, and so forth. And so,
Catholic.
Of course, the bishops have to respond, as does the Holy Father. And I tell you, that's their domain and such. But you know what? It's time.
Yeah.
Because the public scandal that's being caused needs a public response. But most importantly, for all of us, we've got to proclaim the gospel and let folks know that it's not okay what Joe Biden's doing, what Nancy Pelosi, the House,
right.
And the Senate now, and this sort of triangulation against the church, against life. It's evil what's going on, but you know what? Catholic Church is here, baby. We've been here for 2,000 years. We're going to be here till the end of time. We ain't going anywhere, and we are going to proclaim the truth.
And we've been a little slow, but we're getting our act together. I want to go to YouTube. Evans is following in Zambia, so I wanted to say hi to Evans from Zambia. And then Stuart said, "Hey guys, watching from Scotland in the UK." I assume you put in the UK on there because you don't think we know where Scotland is, Stuart, but we do know where Scotland is. But it's nice to see you, Stuart. And I also wanted to read this one from Krakow. People give themselves their own names on YouTube. It's not like Facebook, so I don't know if this is actually his name, Krakow. But let me read this to you. Born a Catholic, fell into witchcraft and Norse paganism. On my journey home to the church, Catholic Answers has been a huge help. I sit and listen all day at work. Thank you. Well, thank you, Krakow, and that's what it's all about. That is
Fantastic.
What it's all about.
Amen. Are we coming to the countdown here?
Yeah, he's going to take away our sound in a moment. We got a few seconds, right? 888-291-8000 or go safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Tim Staples is back. We're going to have a lot of fun for the next 2 hours. Open forum, raising some money. We'll see you just in a few seconds. You'll hear us. Hello and welcome to Catholic Answers Live. I'm Cy Kellett, your host. Everything all right? You look shocked in there. Did you know the show was starting? All right. Well, I'm so excited. I think we're all a bit fired up because he's back. Tim Staples is back. We're going to do 2 hours of open forum with Tim Staples. Tim, welcome back.
It is fantastic to be back.
Well, it's fantastic to have you back. I was so excited when I saw you in the building. And, of course, we bring you back. Tim, get in there and raise some money.
Yeah.
We got money to raise.
The only problem was I got lost on the way to the studio, but then I found my way.
You forgot the way?
Yeah. Yeah, and, we were talking a little bit about what's going on right now. A real change in here. I couldn't believe it when I came in here. Cy Kellett now with the star on his door and
yes, what is this? And I'm wearing an ascot and a robe. When
what
you came
is
in.
this?
Yeah.
And I'm an author. This big door, this sign
right.
on the door. But other than that, things are pretty normal.
I've moved past the little people now.
No, but it's exciting because, folks, there's never been a more important time. We talked about a little bit on the pre-show. There's never been a more important time for Catholic Answers Live than right now, and the proclamation of the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ that we alone possess as Catholics. Because, in case you haven't noticed, the world has gone crazy. We have a government now that is spiraling out of control, immoral, attacking anti-Catholic, anti-life to a degree we really haven't seen before. We're approaching a new level of antipathy toward the gospel and toward life in particular, the family.
I know.
And we are, folks, the Catholic Church is not just the last line of defense, we're pretty much the only line of defense. When you look around, in fact, I was talking yesterday at the coffee shop with a Protestant fellow, and I was talking to him about, look at the Protestant denominations. There's nobody left. They're all teaching now, homosexual marriage, A-OK, abortion in various scenarios, A-OK and such. And it is the one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church that stands strong.
Ain't changing.
Along with our Orthodox brothers, generally speaking, although they don't have the voice that we do either, because they don't have a living magisterium, because they don't have the Holy Father. And so it's incumbent upon us. We have an obligation as Catholics, because we are that lone voice. We are the light. We are that city set upon a hill. And we have an obligation to proclaim the gospel in full, without compromise. And that's what we do. We are proclaiming it doesn't matter what the President of the United States says, or the Speaker of the House, or the Senate majority,
or cable news.
Who cares? Or cable news, or anybody else. We are here to proclaim the gospel, because the gospel is the only hope. Folks, we're spiraling out of control, literally. But guess what we need you to do right now? We need you to help us to continue the proclamation of this gospel that we alone possess as Catholics. Folks, nobody else has it, but we do. All right? And that is the hope of our nation and all nations. But we need your help right now. Call 888-291-8000. Folks, we've got a lot of folks on the phones, and there's nobody calling, okay? So guess what? The phones are all open. We need your help, because we got to meet this match of $15,000.
This hour.
And then, Si, I want you to explain this second thing.
I will.
That is amazing, that I'm not sure I fully comprehend yet, but you're going to help me. But we need you to call right now, folks. Right from the start, please, we got to make this match. We've got to be strong. We've got to move forward. There's so much more we want to do. But first things first, we got to pay the bills now. 888-291-8000, or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. We need to hear from you.
The energy level just goes up when you're in the building, Tim. It's so great to have you back here. And I'll tell you, let me just lay down the situation. Yesterday, our first day. Today, we're in the middle day. Tomorrow, last day. That's all we come to you over the next 3 months to ask you to help us to pay our bills. We're not building up a giant nest egg. We're not, the money's not going into cryptocurrency. We got to pay the bills. And that's why we come to you. And you've never let us down. And so we come to you with confidence, but also with some sense of urgency. Yesterday, we were able to raise just a little more than 1/4 of what we need. So that's a very good day, and we always try to tell the truth about where we are. So we're at about 54,000 of the 200,000 that we need to raise. We met both of our matches yesterday. Very, very grateful for all of that. But let me explain what Tim wanted me to explain. And by the way, $15,000 dollar for dollar match right now. Perfect time to pick up the phone and call 888-291-8000. But there's a second match, and that's the part that Tim has never experienced before. Until yesterday, I had never experienced before. We have a donor who understands essentially how a nonprofit like us works. That if we can have monthly donors, it changes everything. It gives us, it's almost like you have a platform you're standing on that you know is solid, and you can go forward making plans. So this donor gave $100,000 on the condition that we can match it with new monthly pledges. So if you are a first-time monthly giver to Catholic Answers Live, you're going to help us meet that $15,000 match. So your money is doubled, dollar for dollar. But if you are a first-time pledger, this other donor is also going to match your pledge, so it's triple. So let's say you could do $10 a month right now. Let's say that you could come into the Catholic Answers family, be part of this, for $10 a month right now. One donor is going to double that to $20 a month. Another donor is going to triple it to $30 a month. And you become a member of our giving society called Society 315. And Society 315, you get the T-shirt, you get the car magnet and all of that. But also, it's a way for us to build a community where we're going to share. I mean, Tim's going to be doing lectures that are available to Society 315 members exclusively, and we'll have opportunities to do call-in opportunities and that kind of thing. And also events. So we're going to do events around the country, maybe even around the world. I don't know. Where we can meet with Society 315 folks. So we want to build up this Society 315. So for $10 a month, we're getting $30 a month right now because there's 2 donors who will match your donation if you are a first-time monthly giver. And then you become a member of Society 315, and we've got $15,000 to use up right now, 888-291-8000. And anybody who gives in any amount, you give $1 right now, it's going to be matched dollar for dollar. Amen. You give $1,000, it's going to be matched dollar for dollar. We're going to go to the phones, we're going to take calls, but I just want to lay the groundwork here so you know what's going on. Everybody's money is getting matched right now. If you're a first-time monthly pledger, it's getting matched twice. 888.
That's incredible.
Did I explain that all right? Did that make sense what I said?
That means we've never had this before.
No, this is a first-time thing.
My goodness.
I don't know who this donor is either, but it's brilliant.
This is incredible. Folks, really, I've never heard this before. I mean, my wife told me you guys were doing it yesterday, right?
Yeah, right.
But, oh my gosh, folks, this is the time to call. 888-291-8000. You become a monthly donor, and your money's being
for a whole year. Tripled.
It's tripled. Oh my gosh, Val, folks, this is phenomenal. All right, do not let this go by. All right, 888-291-8000. I almost wanted to call out to my wife, Val. Can you believe this?
Because you've been with her for the last 3 months. You haven't been here.
888-291-8000. Or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Folks, we have too much work to be done. It's time to give. Folks, these lines should be full right now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open lines, okay? Now, praise God, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that are full. Praise God. But the other 5 need to be full. Give us a call, 888-291-8000. Let me tell you, with this kind of triple deal going on, folks, give monthly, okay? Give that $25 a month, give that $50 a month. We are going to rock the house, and you just watch what we have coming at Catholic Answers.
And we can go to the phones now and take some calls. Tim Staples, our guest. That's exciting to get to say that again. Tim's been away for a few months, and we're so happy to have him back. Noah in Westmont, Illinois, watching on YouTube Live. Noah, you're first up. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me.
Happy to.
So, I'm a Protestant who's been considering Catholicism for a while.
Gotcha.
I've really come to terms with the Immaculate Conception. I think I read your book, Behold Your Mother, which was great. And so my question that's been lingering is, so in regards to the fact that Mary was spared from the stain of original sin,
yes,
does that imply that she would never have made mistakes? And that, like, she was, impervious to making any kind of mistake that would have come about from sinful nature as a normal human would. I mean, so, like, is that included in that or what?
Gotcha. Great question. All right. Well, first of all, she had no sin, and we have to make that clear. I know you know that. No sin whatsoever, not even a venial sin, nor would she have had the slightest attachment to sin. Okay, so that's got to be made clear. However, we make a distinction in Catholic theology, Noah, between, as you know, Jesus alone can say, I always do my Father's will. In fact, Jesus alone can say, as, let's see, John chapter 5, verse 19, the Son of Man can do nothing of his own, but only that which he sees the Father doing, right? So Jesus, even in his human nature, had the beatific vision. He, because of the hypostatic union, that is the human nature joined with the divine nature in the one divine person, every single thought and action he performed was positively God's will. He is the will of God manifest in the flesh, right? He is the Word made flesh. So every single thought, every word, every deed is entirely the will of God and that which he sees the Father do. We cannot say that of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She is free from all sins, but she did not have the beatific vision. And I know there are some who argue, no, the Catholic Church has never taught that. Mary did not have the beatific vision, so theoretically, once we eliminate all possibility, I like to do like St. Augustine. I believe it's on Nature and Grace, section 36, where he famously says, in treating of sin, I want to make one thing clear. The Blessed Mother, she's off the off the radar screen. Now, he didn't say it like that. We're not going to speak of any sin whatsoever when it comes to the Blessed Virgin Mary. Now let's talk about everybody else, says St. Augustine. So as long as we keep Mary in that unique category, we can certainly say that, yes, it is theoretically possible, even though, Noah, Mary's intellectual capacity would have been so sharp. So we can't even imagine, the clarity the Blessed Mother would have had. She would just see and know things so clearly because she's not encumbered by sin whatsoever. So she would have had an alacrity, a clarity that would have been off the charts. But that doesn't mean she could not make a mistake concerning calculus. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't mean she could not make a mistake concerning things like that. So we don't want to, exaggerate, even though it's difficult to do that because she is so glorious. But we don't want to exaggerate and put her up on a par with Jesus.
Noah, thanks very, very much for starting us off with that question. Lots of folks on the line today. It's open forum. Tim Staples is here. I wish I had known that when I was taking calculus. I could have said that to the instructor.
That's right. Not that Mary would have known calculus, but I think folks get the point. But folks, here, we just had a call from a Protestant fellow who's basically on his way into the Catholic faith. And God bless you, Noah. When you accept the Immaculate Conception, you're on your way, my friend. You're closer to us than the Greek Orthodox. Although there's a lot of Orthodox who agree with this as well. But as a general rule, they're a little bit persnickety about the Immaculate Conception. The point is, this is what happens on Catholic Answers Live, folks. People hear the fullness of the gospel, and it's attractive when the truth is presented. If guys like Cy Kellett can just get out of the way, and guys like Tim Staples can just get out of the way. See, I added me in.
I like it. Yeah,
I added me in.
I don't have to
and
cry
we
now.
can present the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is so beautiful. It's so true. It draws people like Noah. But the only way folks get drawn like that, the only way Noah gets my book, reads it, and then calls in and says, hey, I read your book. Wow, I believe in the Immaculate Conception. We can pass over that side. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here. But none of that happens, folks, unless you call. That's the bottom line. And we have way too many open phones right now. Please give us a call with the triple match. I love saying that. We've never said this before, folks. If you give a monthly donation.
If you're a new monthly donor.
A new monthly donor. Thank you.
Yep.
Cy. We're talking about tripling your gift. $25 a month becomes $900, right? $300 a year.
I didn't pass calculus. I don't know. Ask the Virgin Mary. Her mind is very clear.
I know 300 times 3 is 900. That's exciting, folks. And there may be some folks, you might be able to be that one. You've been listening for a while. You've been blessed. Maybe you can, right now, do that $100 a month. Right now, folks. Call that and count on your fingers and toes, right? $100 a month, that's $1,200 times 3. This is phenomenal, folks. You are going to help us this year to be, we're going to do more than just pay the bills this time, Cy Kellett. Well, we are going to go beyond. That is my goal, I'm stating right now. Please give us a call at 888-291-8000. That's 888-291-8000, or remember, you can go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. But please do call. There are millions of people that are waiting for you to call. You know why? Because there's millions of people that are waiting to hear the gospel. Folks who are going to turn the radio on or go online and happen upon us 3 months from now.
Yeah.
They're going to do it, and they're going to become Catholic because of you right now at 888-291-8000, or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
888-291-8000. 8000, that's the number. A whole bunch of match money online. But I also want to tell you about our thank you gifts that we are able to give you at the various levels. I was saying at the beginning, and I promise I'll just go through these and we'll go right back to a question for Tim. So I'll just go through these very quickly. If you are able to give at the $10 a month level, $10 a month, first of all, tripled. And second of all, you become a member of our Society 315. You get the T-shirt, the car magnet, a coupon code for shopping at Catholic Answers Live and getting discounts there. And also, you'll get to participate in some of the community building stuff we're going to try to do there. If you can pledge at $20 a month, also tripled, and you become a member of Society 315, and you get the book A Man Named Joseph, Guardian for Our Times, from our own Joe Heschmeyer, and Real Religion from Father Jeff Kirby. If you're able to give at $45 a month level, if you're a person who could do it at that level, all of that applies. But again, tripled. Your pledge is tripled right now because of this very special donor that we have. And then we're going to send you the hard copy of Trent Horn's School of Apologetics course, Evidence for Catholic Moral Teaching, what the Church teaches
on
right and wrong.
Absolutely awesome.
I'll tell you what, if you can go to $84 a month, and there are people who can do it, $84 a month, it's a large number, but there are people who can do it. All of that applies, but you're also a member of our President's Club. And there are all kinds of benefits to the President's Club, including the fact that for the whole year, we publish something, you see it, you just shoot us an email or call, and we send it to you for free. Anything you want, published that year, you get for free in the President's Club. That's for $84 a month. 888-291-8000 is the number. Some people to call, to thank, and then right back to calls. Marie just assembled these for me, folks who just joined at the $10 a month level.
Fantastic.
Teresa, Aaron, Stephen, Gary, Joni, John, Joseph, Melissa, Colette. Wow, this is a lot, Marie.
Wow.
Michael, Robert, Floor, Joe. Thank you all for joining Society 315.
Just now?
Yeah, just now. That's just now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Dan F. donated $500. Thanks, Dan. 888-291-8000, the number. I'm going to go to calls. People want to hear some
Let's do
Tim
it.
Staple answering questions. He's been practicing in his shower for months. So Linda in Austin, Texas, listening on Catholic.com. You are next. Linda, delighted to have you. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
Thank you for taking my call. Yes, I have a question. So I was reading a passage in the Bible. It's from John 14:28. And it's a part where it's talking about the fact that Jesus is talking about the Father being greater than he is. Now, I understand that what he's talking about is that his human side, Jesus' human side, Father's greater than him.
Yes.
And I thought I had a basic understanding of the Trinity, meaning that I know that there are the three persons, they're equal as God, and so forth. But in this Navarre Bible commentary, I guess what they call a commentary, where it's explaining the passage, it basically is saying that even though the Father and the Son are equal in nature, and I'll just skip down a little bit, it is saying that only the Father is the beginning without beginning.
Correct.
Whereas the Son proceeds from the Father by way of a generation. Now it sounds, and I'm sure I'm misunderstanding this, it sounds, though, that the Father always was,
right,
and then Jesus
came to be.
Not Jesus, the human side, but God, then kind of proceeded from the Father, meaning almost like, and creating, I'm sure is not the right word, but almost like it was only the Father.
Right.
From always.
It does sound like that. Linda, I think you're at the, or you've come to the limit of human language, and talking about the divine, but Tim, explain how all these things can be true.
Yeah, and first of all, we want to make clear, as you already mentioned, if you look at the context of John 14:28, he says, "You have heard me say, I go to the Father. If you loved me, you would rejoice because I go to the Father. For the Father is greater than I am." So he is clearly talking about going to the Father. That's referring to his human nature. That's the first meaning of the text, is that we're talking about the human nature. And as such, the divine nature is greater. So the Father is greater, no doubt. And the second person of the Blessed Trinity, of course, the divine person experiences humanity through that nature, that human nature that he possesses. Thus, he could say, the Father is greater than I. This is why he would say, I go to my Father and your Father, right? In John chapter 20, he worships his God as well as our God, right? Also in John chapter 20. Why? Because the human nature needs God, right? And so, of course, he loves and he worships God. But what you're pulling out here, Linda, is a deeper sort of understanding. And there's something that goes deeper here in that the incarnation of our blessed Lord does reveal something. In fact, everything that Jesus does, right, reveals something about God's nature as well. And so there is that, and this is what the Navarra Bible is talking about, that within the inner life of God, we can say the Father is greater than the Son. Our Eastern theologians love this. As long as we're careful, we don't want to fall into a subordinationalism, because that would be heresy. We can't say, because all three persons of Blessed Trinity possess all 14 attributes of the Godhead co-equally, co-eternally, and that includes power. All three are equally as powerful. Why? Because they are all three the one God, all powerful, right? So the greatness we're talking about here is one of a relational distinction within the divine, the inner life of God. So that the Father is the quote-unquote first cause of life in the Trinity. The Father alone begets. The Son is begotten. So that's what the Navarra Bible, and they are absolutely right, they're talking about. The different roles, the relational distinctions between the persons are real. These are real distinctions, so that the Father can be called the greatest of the first of the persons, the first cause of life in the Blessed Trinity. But Linda, remember this: these are only relational distinctions. They are not matters of essence. So that when we say greater, this does not pertain to any attribute. It is only a relational distinction. So that the Son is begotten, but as we say in the Creed, Linda, he is God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father. So it's an eternal begetting that represents a quote-unquote hierarchy within the persons of the Blessed Trinity. There really is the Father greater, the Son, being begotten, and so forth. But co-equal, co-eternal. And again, I emphasize, when it comes to all the attributes, they share them absolutely equally and co-eternally. So hopefully that helps, Linda. You've touched on a really hot topic. When you deal with the Trinity, of course, it is a great mystery. Normally in John 14:28, I like to stick to the humanity of Christ, which is first being emphasized there. But if you want to dive into Trinitarian theology, we can do that as well. It's a lot of fun. Folks, how many other radio broadcasts do you turn on where you can talk about the eternal relations, right? The four eternal relations within the inner life of God. You're not going to get that on CNN. You're not going to get that on Fox News. You're going to get that right here, folks. And this is life because, hey, Jesus said it in John 17, verse 3. This is eternal life, that they may know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. So when we talk theology here, Trinitarian theology, we're not just doing it for the fun of it. This isn't a nice little option for us. Yeah, we can talk about, no, this is our salvation, right? If you want to get to heaven, you need to know who God is. That's what Jesus says. And so this is why it's so important for us at Catholic Answers to stay on the air, because people need to know who God is. You would be shocked, my friends, at the confusion among our separated brethren, even when it comes to the essential truths of the Blessed Trinity. So folks, pick up the phone right now, 888-291-8000. We got a lot of open lines. 888-291-8000, or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Give that monthly gift.
Tim Staples is back, and we'll be back right after this.
Catholic Answers Live would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners in airing our daily program. Please support the stations and networks that carry us each day, ensuring that we have a platform for broadcasting the show. And please bear in mind that while we do not have to pay for airtime on our affiliate stations, neither do they contribute to the operating costs we incur. It's a great relationship, but it requires that we turn to you, our devoted listeners, for your prayers and financial support to cover our ever-growing expenses. Please call 888-291-8000 right now and help to keep Catholic Answers Live strong. That's 888-291-8000. Or you can donate securely online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. What began as a humble one-hour daily show that was carried by 4 radio stations has, with the generosity of many fantastic people like you, blossomed into a 2-hour broadcast heard on hundreds of AM and FM stations, the internet, Sirius XM radio, Facebook, YouTube, and via podcast. We don't make that possible. You do. We simply cannot continue this media mission without your most generous gift today. Call 888-291-8000 or log on to CatholicAnswersRadio.com and donate now. People tell us all the time how much they depend on Catholic Answers Live to help them better learn, live, and share their faith. What they're really saying is they depend on you for that. Will you come through for them right now? It only takes a couple of minutes to make a huge difference at 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Again, 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. No matter how much you give, be assured of our gratitude and know that God will richly bless you. Phone 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. It's important that you take this important step right now, today, to make sure that Catholic Answers Live is here tomorrow and for years to come. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Darren, come on, man. You're just trying to be popular. He's playing that groovy music all the time now. I think it's in the rotation. Thank you for playing the groovy music.
I'm doing the swim.
Yep. I know. Can you do the Watusi? Can you do the, what are the other?
I can do the pogo.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. Everyone who was a kid in the 80s can do the pogo. That's the saddest dance. It's so funny when you see like concerts from, like, if you see, you know, like now they got them on YouTube and stuff, and you're like, look what we were doing. It's so horrifying. Yes. And I was doing it just like everybody else.
What did Fred Astaire think? You know?
I know, when you were doing the rock lobster. 888-291-8000, the number to call and make your pledge. Lots of folks to thank. Here's the deal. A donor gave $100,000 and said you can have it if you can match it. And as much as we match, I don't want you to think we have to match the whole $100,000 to get it. I mean, as much as we match, we get. I don't want to deceive anybody, but people have been really responding. Brand new monthly donor from New York. I don't have permission to say the name, so I'm not going to say it. $125 a month.
Wow! Praise God, man.
That's $375 a month to us for this year from that one donor. Thank you so much for that. Just joined Society 315 at $10 a month, which is also getting tripled. Dan, Marie, Judy, Harold, Steve, John. Oh, she's writing names while I'm talking. I can't even keep up. Janelle, Miriam, Leslie, Michael, Renee. Thank you all.
Fantastic.
Shane B. just joined the President's Club, $84 a month.
And you know what, Cy? I've been thinking about this actually for days as I was winding down the end of my sabbatical, and I was really looking forward to being here. I was thinking about, and you know, I think often we as Catholics become so complacent. I know I did, especially during COVID. When I wasn't getting to Mass as much as I was before, even getting to confession became difficult.
Yeah,
you know,
because there was no one that would hear you.
Yes,
you had to drive across town.
I mean, we have special connections here and there. I was able to kind of go under the Staples. But still, it affected my prayer life. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
No question.
This time off that I had, it's just been phenomenal. Well, we'll have to talk sometime. But my wife and I actually went on a marriage encounter. I got a brand new marriage, my friends. I'm telling. I mean, it's been glorious in many ways. But you know what? What hit me so hard, you know, in the last couple of weeks is just how complacent we can become, and it's the nature of the beast. You know, you get into life, and I get it, but we've got to fight against that. You know, we have to determine in our minds, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on my knees and I'm going to worship. And I'm going to pray, not because I feel like it, but because God's worthy of it. This is my duty as a Catholic, as St. Paul says, I exhort you, I love that, in Romans chapter 12, by the mercies of God, right? I exhort you by the mercies of God that you present your bodies living sacrifices unto God, which is your reasonable worship. That's logike in Greek, right? Logike, your reasonable worship. We have a worship that is reasonable. It's the most human thing you can do in your life is kneel down and worship Almighty God. But as Catholics, we're surrounded by miracles. We don't just get worship. We get miracles. Every day in the Eucharist, we have a miracle. It's called transubstantiation. Now, technically, it's not a miracle in the sense of an external sign, but it is a miracle in the sense that we have the transubstantiation, which means you have the accidents of bread and wine that remain, and they are connected to nothing. Right? It's a miracle.
Yes.
And of course, Jesus' substantial presence. But God doesn't stop there, Si. He gives us Eucharistic miracles all over the world. We see you just in case you might be struggling with your faith. He gives us Lanciano, that's been in existence for 1,321 years now. It's been in existence, and you can see it. I've seen it twice with my own eyes. I've been there. This miraculous host that 1,300 plus years ago was transformed. That is, the accidents of bread and wine were transformed into real flesh and real blood, and it still exists today. Do you think we can take for granted sometimes? I mean, we're surrounded. As Catholics, we're surrounded by miracles like these that have been scientifically verified on four different occasions. There's no human explanation for the existence of the thing. This is what we have. And folks, we can take it for granted. This is another reason why Catholic Answers Live is so important, because we need to hear it over and over. This is why we have the liturgy. Amen. We go through the substance of the Bible over 3 years, roughly, the entire Bible, the substance of it, right? Why? Because we're dunces. We need to hear it over and over and over, and we need to be encouraged, and we need to encourage each other. But I was thinking about that, Si. We're surrounded by miracles as Catholics, and yet sometimes we can get complacent. Folks, don't allow yourself to get complacent. And when you do, go to confession. Get back on the horse. Go receive our blessed Lord in the Eucharist. Get in front of him and allow him to renew your mind. The renewing of your mind is priceless, my friends. But right now, we need your help, because I believe this is one of the things we do. We are here to help you to hear that glorious truth over and over in the form of apologetics. Yes, defending the faith. That's a powerful way to communicate the truth. But you know it, folks. Those of you that are listening right now, you know full well you've been blessed over and over and over again by so many guests on here, bishops, cardinals, priests, knuckleheads like Tim Staples, Si Kellett, right? You've been blessed over and over again. Don't become complacent toward Catholic Answers either, because you can take for granted, they're always going to be there. No, they're not. Not necessarily.
Well, we've seen lots of Catholic radio stations disappear, lots of Catholic communications
We have.
disappear.
And folks, I guarantee you it can go away. So I said all that to say this. Please, folks, we need your help right now. We've got a whole lot of open lines. We're not even close to meeting our match yet. We're not even halfway, folks. We have got to meet this match. So please pick up the phone right now at 888-291-8000. That's 888-291-8000. We need to hear from you now, folks. Don't let it go until the last couple of minutes so Tim Staples has a heart attack. Come on, pick up that phone right now. That $25 a month gift, instead of being $300, it's going to be $900. That $100 a month gift, if you are a new pledger, is going from $1,200 to $3,600. This is phenomenal. Please give us a call. Not enough are taking advantage of this triple match. So pick up the phone, 888-291-8000, or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Join with us to proclaim the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ that we alone possess as Catholics.
888-291-8000. Back to the callers now. Kurt in Houston, Texas, watching on YouTube Live. You're up next. Go ahead with your question for Tim Staples.
Hey, Tim. Appreciate the work that you all do in proclaiming the gospel. I'm a Lutheran, confessional Lutheran, I should add, considering Catholicism. And I think one of the biggest question there is the question of authority. Obviously, is going to come up.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm looking at, and I think one of the most compelling cases for the church's authority, the Catholic Church, is the development of doctrine and having a magisterium that can decide what is a good development and what is a corruption.
Yes.
But I guess I'm getting tied up in a logical pretzel because what's troubling me is that the teaching on the development of doctrine seems to apply to the understanding of the magisterium's infallibility itself, to where it becomes it seems when you look historically, a Lutheran would look at history and see, okay, has the Pope contradicted himself? Mm-hmm. But because the understanding of the Pope's authority itself develops, the church can kind of add more nuance to where, because they know that the Pope is infallible, it looks like there may be a little contradiction, so we can add more nuance that then shows the Pope is still infallible.
Right.
You kind of get, am I misunderstanding something
Gotcha.
there? Because
yeah, Kurt, it's a great question. And there are a couple of things. First, there's a wonderful document that came out in 1998 called the Professio Fidei. Beautiful document, Pope St. John Paul the Great. And then you had a doctrinal commentary on that. I'd recommend you get a hold of it. It's a beautiful document that talks about the development of doctrine as well as where we stand on numerous doctrines in their development. It's absolutely brilliant. But one of the points that's made in that commentary, that would have been penned by Cardinal Ratzinger and approved by Pope St. John Paul the Great, is that a lot of folks don't realize this, but papal infallibility was understood, taught, and infallibly so from the very earliest days of the church. A lot of folks misunderstand. They think that papal infallibility was defined sort of in an absolute sense in 1870. That's just not true. Particular aspects and what Vatican I really focused on, yes, the church defined full, double-barreled shotgun what papal infallibility means, but the real sticking point when it comes to nuance and definition there had to do with his juridical authority, right? That the Pope has juridical authority over each bishop, each cardinal, archbishop, bishop, and each and every individual, each and every rite, each and every, it's this language that really drove our Orthodox friends crazy. But that was a specific sort of development, but papal infallibility was understood all the way back. As you know, brother, you go to Leo the Great at the Council of Chalcedon, where, of course, his famous tome was, he wasn't there, his tome was read. He sent legates. He was too elderly to make the trip, but he sent his legates. They read the document. And of course, the council fathers erupt and say, Peter has spoken through Leo, right? And the heresy is over. You had a similar thing happen with Pope Celestine at the Council of Ephesus 20 years before, and we could go on and on and on. So remember, papal infallibility is something that was taught from the very beginning. Of course, there's development. Now, in other areas of doctrine, the Eucharist and justification, salvation, and things, there is a lot of development that happens because, generally speaking, it's when errors come in, that's when the church is forced to reconsider doctrines and go deeper in order to make the definition. But when it comes to papal infallibility, it was so universally understood. That's one of the reasons why you didn't need a definition. Because when you have all the bishops of the world gathered at Chalcedon and said, Peter has spoken through Leo, the matter is settled, what do you need to define? It's already understood on the universal and ordinary level, so it's already infallible. That was one thing that really helped me to understand things when it comes in particular to papal authority. But brother, thanks so much for your call. Give a read to that document, especially that doctrinal commentary by Cardinal Ratzinger. And folks, look, we need your help right now. We've got way too many phone lines open, and now they're making me nervous, Si. Okay, they're making me nervous.
Don't make Tim nervous.
we need you to call folks.
We have to deal with him.
And do you guys understand the importance of the discussion we just had? Right?
I know a Lutheran gentleman calls up and is struggling with papal infallibility and
understanding the development of doctrine.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the kinds of discussions that we have on a daily basis at Catholic Answers that brings thousands and thousands and thousands of people, probably millions over the years, to our one holy Catholic and apostolic faith, folks. This is priceless.
To say nothing of all of those like me who bring closer. Now,
yes,
like
that is a good point.
Yeah, just like if I didn't listen to Catholic Answers Live, would I be as close to Jesus as I am? And I know the answer is no. And I tune you out sometimes, Tim. Wait, we got to take a quick break. Let me give the number. We'll be right back. 888-291-8000. Give us a call. We need your support. 888-291-8000.
You're listening to Catholic Answers Live.
Do you love praying for people? Have you ever wanted to use your gift of prayer to share Jesus with others and build up the body of Christ? Start a public prayer station with St. Paul Street Evangelization. Listen to people's needs, pray with them, or invite them to meet you at church. St. Paul Street Evangelization can help you get started. Find out how at streetevangelization.com. That's streetevangelization.com.
Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. It's only fair. Tim called me a knucklehead earlier, so I got to get him back. We're in the midst of our pledge drive, right in the midst of our pledge drive, 888-291-8000. One of the things that we've been asking you is to consider, if you've never been a monthly donor, become a monthly donor, because we have this I assume very wealthy, I don't know, maybe not, but I assume very wealthy donor who said, if you could raise $100,000 on new monthly pledges, I'll match every dollar of it. Right. It's a great thing for us because monthly pledges mean everything to an institution like us who really just has to pay the bills every month. That's how we live, a little bit hand to mouth. Here to talk with us about how it is all going is the man who runs development here at Catholic Answers. David, thanks for coming by. How's development going?
Development's great. So it has been a great start to the pledge drive.
Good.
So
okay,
thanks
good.
Thanks to you and to Trent yesterday and Tim. God, brother, it's good to see you.
It's good to be
Glad
back.
to have you back.
It feels like Catholic Answers again, huh?
It does feel like Catholic
building.
Answers. You know, and Pledge Drive time is such an exciting time around here because as you walk around the halls, I mean, you're here in the studio side, but as I walk around the halls, or our president, Chris Check, does, you know, you hear people on the phones, and it's such a wonderful time for us to connect with the people that love us the most, right?
Amen.
So, you know, we might get emails, we might get letters and things like that. You talk to them all the time here on the show, but the rest of us don't necessarily get that opportunity. So this pledge drive is really an opportunity. We love having conversations with the folks who call in.
Amen.
And we hear such great things. In fact, you asked me if there was anything of interest in particular, and I was just talking to Mike from Pennsylvania who started up a $10 a month monthly pledge.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep, and Mike, he could not say enough good things about the Catholic Answers School of Apologetics.
That's great.
He said, get in there, get some more courses. They are so awesome. Please don't stop doing it. And then he said, you know, I just got Tim's course on evidence for the church, and he said he loved it. And I said, did I hear that right? Did you really say that? Or did you mean Jimmy? And he said, no, I meant Tim.
You did, David. You did not say that.
No, I didn't say that.
It couldn't have been Tim.
No, Mike was very gracious. And I told him, I said, hey, we're going back in the studio over the summer. We got more courses coming, and it's all thanks to the generosity of those who are giving to us.
But to think about that, the School of Apologetics, a whole School of Apologetics we were able to start because donors have supported us through the years. And
absolutely.
And we're growing in those ways. And I mean, we're doing everything, like books. I mean, if you got a tape player, we'll give you a tape. We'll probably still making 8 tracks. I don't know, but now we got the School of Apologetics. Maybe not 8 tracks,
maybe
but
not. Yeah.
But is
beta only, just beta.
Yeah, right. But how wonderful! Mike came in. He's part of the family now.
Absolutely.
He's in Society 315.
Yep. Sure enough. And just to give you a little perspective, the society is growing by leaps and bounds. We're over 600 members now.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. We got over 100 new members just yesterday, and the folks are really really stepping up again today with those monthly donations. Because as you said, Si, so we have our large donors, right? And they really help us kickstart projects like the School of Apologetics. Yeah. Then we've got our monthly donors that help Phil Lenahan and the budget department really plan things out, pay the bills, do the things we do every single day. So between our larger donors and our smaller donors, they all come together as one big family and help us do great stuff.
Yes. Dave, if only folks could see the work that's done here behind the scenes. Like this man, Dave Matheson, I mean, what he has done with development to, for example, streamline the budget. I mean, somehow he finds a way to shrink the budget and increase the bottom line. You can't beat that, folks. But this is the kind of stuff that Dave does and that others do around this office. Every day, they are working to squeeze everything we can get out of every dollar. And we are increasing our apostolic work like I have never seen since I've been at Catholic Answers. Yep. And I've been here over 16 years, my friends, coming up on 17 years. It is absolutely astonishing. So when you call right now, your money is going for the apostolic work at 888-291-8000. It's thanks to guys like Dave and so many others that are working their tails off to do the work for our blessed Lord and Holy Mother Church.
And you know what? We're all on the phone right now. So as soon as I leave here, I'll be back on the phone, and we want to talk to you. We want to hear what you love about Catholic Answers and help you support us for sure.
888-291-8000 is the number. I was joking before about how this pays our bills. Like we're not investing in cryptocurrency, but I was just thinking if you had cryptocurrency, there is a way to donate it.
There actually is. Yes.
I heard this in a meeting the other day.
No way.
Yeah, people could donate cryptocurrency.
You can. We just launched this, and the only way right now you can donate cryptocurrency is if you go to Catholic.com, you click the orange donate button in the upper right corner, and there is a link there where you can donate cryptocurrency through a third party called Engiven. They're the ones that provide the platform.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to roll it out a little more, but right now if you got cryptocurrency, if your Ethereum's really been kicking butt and you want to send some of that to us, you can do it on
Can I
Catholic.com.
donate Monopoly money? Does that work?
You can, Tim. Yes. Sure. Go ahead. You can. We can't do anything with it, but you can. I know you see these things like Ethereum and you're like, another one I missed. Yeah. Oh, another one I missed. 888-291-8000. Every dollar matched for those who are first-time donors by this new thing that we have. We've never had someone say, I'll match $100,000. And so I want to thank some folks, and then we will go back to the phones.
Yes.
And then we'll, and
thank you guys.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much.
Dave is awesome, guys.
Right.
Awesome.
And
he eats a lot, though. He came over to my house and ate all my food. But other than that, he's great.
888-291-8000. You hear us talk to Sarah sometimes. Sarah on the board. That's David's daughter. You did a good job there. She is a sharp one, Sarah. 888-291-8000. Karen joined the President's Club at $87 a month. Jean joined at $100 a month. Sean giving $67 a month. All of that matched and then matched again. But what they're getting is all the gifts that we're able to give at the various levels. So, for example, Sean's getting Trent Horn's Evidence for Catholic Moral Teaching, one of the courses in the School of Apologetics, but also getting the two books, A Man Named Joseph, A Guardian for Our Times, and Real Religion from Father Jeff Kirby. And that's anybody that gives at the $20 level or more gets that. And he's also a member of Society 315. So come in at the $10, $20, $45, or $84 a month level and get those various thank you gifts. Just join the Society 315 at $10 a month. Mike, William, Donna, David, Stephen, Stephanie, Claudia, $100. Thanks, Claudia. It just all got matched. Robbie came in at $25 a month, so he's getting A Man Named Joseph, and he's getting Real Religion and a member of the Society 315, and all of that triple matched because of this extraordinary gift we have. 888-291-8000. I'm going to go to Ryan in Midland, Texas, listening on the Catholic Answers Live app. Ryan made you wait a while. Sorry about that. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
All right, Tim. I wanted to ask you, since we as Latin Catholics can fulfill our obligation to attend Sunday Mass in Eastern Rite churches, can we also fulfill our obligation to attend Mass on a holy day of obligation in an Eastern Rite church, even if their date of celebrating a holy day is a little different than the Rite calendar?
Never would have thought of that, Ryan. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're having a holy day, but they're not having a holy day.
Yeah, that's a Jimmy Akin question right there. I really don't know the answer. My gut tells me, and I'll see if I get corrected, But my gut tells me no. As a Latin Rite Catholic, we are obliged to attend all of the holy days in accordance with our rite. Now, of course, if you're traveling, this goes without saying. I'm sure you agree. You're traveling. You're in an Eastern country where you can't. That's another thing. But that would be my gut. Although, you know, I'm definitely going to dig in, and I will get that answer for you. That's definitely
didn't practice that one in the shower. Did you?
I didn't.
Practicing all these other questions.
Here
in the
is
shower.
first time back, and I get stumped. But
nice
you
going,
know what,
Ryan?
Ryan, thanks for that question, and I will get the answer and tell you about it. Hopefully, well, in the next hour.
Yeah, because Tim's going to be here for another hour.
Yes.
So when we come back on the other side, we'll let you know if we were able to meet the match for this hour, and we'll let you know how we're doing in the overall drive. And we're just going to take tons more calls. So we'll continue with Open Forum with Tim Staples. Haven't had Tim for Open Forum for a long time. It's great to have him back. But let me just remind you before we do go to the top of the hour. First of all, we're about to take a break, so a great time to call 888-291-8000. 888-291-1000. Make your pledge in any amount. All together, we're going to make this small donations, medium donations, large donations. All together, we will make it. But if anybody, we can't afford to leave anybody out of that and still do the work that we do. So please do now pick up that phone and call 888-291-8000. If you can become a first-time monthly donor at the $10 level, you are automatically part of the Society 315. You get the T-shirt and the magnet and all the other good stuff in Society 315, but triple matched. I mean, come on. It's an unbelievable opportunity right now. So
we need this final push right now, folks. Yeah. We got to fill up these lines right now at 888-291-8000. We are coming down to the end of the wire. What do we have, about 2 minutes?
About a minute, I think, before. Well, I don't.
About a minute?
Why are you making me do math at the end of the hour?
Well, folks, we're coming down to the wire, so we really need you guys to get on the phone now at 888-291-8000. And remember, you keep on the line, because now it'll still add for the first hour up until the end of the hour, right?
Oh, yeah, all the way till we start again. Yeah, all the way till 1 minute past the hour. Right. It all counts to this hour.
So really, they have another 5 minutes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
To call for this first hour.
Right.
So we still have some open lines at 888-291-8000. Call CatholicAnswersRadio.com. And I got to hurry up because I got to go to get an answer to that question before we start.
888-291-8000 is the number to call. You can go safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. If you're a fancy pants, you can text the word Catholic to 24365. It's only for fancy pantses, however. Text the word Catholic to 24365. Make your donation that way. I do want to encourage you to go safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Whether you're using a computer or a phone, it is optimized for either of those, and you can get it done in about 90 seconds. If you're technically adept, even quicker than 90 seconds. Say hello to the folks when you call 888-291-8000 to make your pledge, because those are our colleagues. Those are our brothers and sisters in the battle here at Catholic Answers. They all have taken the afternoon off, stopped what they usually do, and they're just answering phones. 888-291-8000. I could not be happier. Tim Staples is back. Everything feels right with the world.
And I'm happier than you.
And okay, all right. I didn't know it was a competition, but it was, and I lost. 888-291-8000. We're going to keep going back to the phones. If you're on the phone, stay on the phone. If you haven't called yet, you can call 888-31-TRUTH to get your question to Tim Staples when we do another hour right after this of Catholic Answers Open Forum. Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. I am Cy Kellett, your host. Just delighted to have Tim Staples back in the building. There's just nothing like Tim Staples' energy when he walks through the building, greeting everybody. It's just great to have him back, and he's ready to answer your questions this hour. It's open forum with Tim Staples this hour. It's also we're now officially in the second half of our May pledge drive. 4 times a year. We come to you for 6 hours and ask you to fund our operations here at Catholic Answers for the next 3 months, and you do it, and we're very grateful for it. I'm really grateful for it. The number to call to support us right now is 888-291-8000. It's remarkable that everything we do here in this studio, which is quite a lot, is paid for by a few hours of asking you for your support. And I think the return on that investment is really something that I think it's something for us to be proud of, and something for you to feel confident in, that your dollar is really doing something. Because this goes out all over the world. It doesn't take a great deal of money to do it. We only ask you for a few hours each 3 months, and you really come through for us. So I just want to say thanks. And let you know, this hour we have a match again. Darren, what are we looking at? The same match? Yep, a $15,000 dollar-for-dollar match this hour. Last hour, we met the match. So thank you very, very much. We have now done 3 hours of this pledge drive and met the match every time. Let's do it again this hour, and we won't have to come to you for 3 more months if we can just keep this up and finish this pledge drive strong. 888-291-8000. I say $15,000 dollar-for-dollar match, and that's true, and that's good, and every dollar given is going to be matched there. But this is something we have never had the opportunity to do before. There's a second match because, as I've said many times on the air, and really I've tried to convince people that this is the case, that monthly donor means everything to us. If it's a $10 monthly pledge, if it's $100, or I think there are people who do $200 monthly pledge. All of that forms a base where we can go, okay, we know that money's coming in next month, and then the month after that, and then the month after that. And that means we can do things like start a school of apologetics, because we're not all panicking. Well, what are we going to do if we get a month into this school of apologetics and we got no money? Because we know we've got the supporters there to do it. So this donor said, I'll tell you what, I'll make an offer. I'll put $100,000 on the table, and every new monthly donor you can get, I'll match it a second time. So there's already the $15,000 match that comes from the one donor. The second donor comes in and matches it again. So if you give the $10 a month, if you start out at $10 a month supporting us, it gets matched and becomes 20, and then gets matched again and becomes 30. If you're a new monthly pledger, if you've never pledged monthly to us before, that's the stipulation from the donor. New monthly pledgers. And I'll tell you what, people have really stepped up. I've never seen this many $10 and $20 monthly pledges. Wow. In some cases more, some folks, we've mentioned a couple people have done 100 and that kind of thing, monthly pledge. But we got $100,000 to use up, so that's fine. Pledge whatever amount you want. But I've never before seen, I don't think, have you? Like an hour where it's $10 recurring, $10 recurring. Yeah, it means phenomenal. So much. Yeah. Because it's a lot of money for us, for one thing. Really, it's going to pay a lot of bills. 888-291-8000 is the number to call. 888-291-8000. Or go safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
Cy, I could not be more excited about that first hour. We thank you, each and every one of you that called. But as Cy said, we've got a brand new match, folks, and we've got a whole lot of open lines. Please, we need you right from the start now, okay? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 open lines at 888-291-8000. That's 888-291-8000, or call CatholicAnswersRadio.com. I mentioned, I go to the coffee shop a lot here, a local coffee. I go to several, but there's my mainstay that I go and often write at. And a lot of times my writing gets hijacked because I end up evangelizing. But, just yesterday I was evangelizing a wonderful Protestant fellow. And he and I have become friends, and we go at it at times. But it was such a blessing because I was there evangelizing this man, and little did I know there were several others who were listening, And so after the conversation was over and the fellow left, another guy is a local pastor, comes up and says, wow, you were getting into some heavy-duty stuff there, right?
How cool.
And so now we are going to start a discussion as well. And there were others who were listening in. And, you know, I was thinking about that. That's Tim Staples sitting at a coffee shop talking with a guy. Do you know what we do on the radio?
Yeah, right.
We sit and talk with a guy who calls in, a Protestant friend, and it goes out to thousands and thousands of people all around the United States and around the world. We don't even know the numbers. It's priceless when you hear a fellow pipe in and he says, you know, he wasn't intended on getting into a discussion. He just heard it. And he's a pastor, and he's hearing high-level apologetics. I mean, we were getting into manuscripts and manuscript authority and, you know, what are the best manuscripts? And we were getting into a lot of discussions like this. Folks, I realized yesterday how priceless that conversation is. And now here we are. We're having the same conversations on steroids, folks, and it's going out to the world. Is that something you want to get behind? I think it is. Well, folks, you have the opportunity right now. We need you to get on the phone. We got way too many open lines right now. And with this opportunity, now we have the triple match, right? That's still going on for new monthly donors.
Right.
It's still going on, folks, something we've never had here at Catholic Answers. So right now you need to call. $10 a month. All of a sudden, I mean, it's always been a lot, $10 a month, because that's $120.
Yeah.
But now it becomes $360. To me, that is so exciting. Why are you not calling? All right? You should be calling right now at 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Folks, CatholicAnswersRadio.com, you don't have to worry about getting somebody to answer the phone. It's there. Anytime you want to go, CatholicAnswersRadio.com. But we want to hear from you guys at 888-291-8000. Let's take this thing to a new level at Catholic Answers.
888-291-8000. Now time to put Tim to work.
Let's do it.
Arlie in Virginia, you are next. Arlie, you there with us?
Hey, Cy. Hey, Trent.
Hi. Hi, Arlie. How are you?
Welcome.
Good. So I'm actually a Protestant. I was raised Arminian. I was actually raised one of Pentecostal. So,
okay.
Tim, you and I have some common experiences.
All right.
So I've been doing some research on predestination and election recently, and honestly, I assumed that the Catholic view was more Arminian. I was reading the Summa, and in question 23, Aquinas was talking about, you know, predestination, the elect, and what he was saying kind of sounded Calvinist to me. He was talking about how the reprobate and the righteous are both elected not based on, you know, their works or even God's foreknowledge of their works, but on his divine election. And so my question for you is, what is the difference between Calvinist and Thomas election? And then how is the Thomas election reconciled with, I guess, the Catholic teaching of human free will? Because they also use the phrase free will, which further confused me. So I just like some clarification on that.
Sure. Yeah, well, the key difference, there is light years. There's an essential difference between St. Thomas and Calvin in that Calvin taught, as I'm sure you know, in his institutes and in more than one place, that God impels. When Lucifer fell, God impelled him. This is called monergism in Calvinistic thought. That is, the devil is impelled to fall. Adam is impelled to fall. There is nothing that happens that God is not the cause, okay, including evil. Calvin will wrongly cite, Isaiah 45:7, I am the Lord, I create the light, I create the darkness. I create good, I create evil, right? Now, he takes that all the way to moral evil. Now, of course, brother, the problem with that is if God impels moral evil, then God would be immoral. You create a monster. This is one of the reasons why John Wesley referred to the God of the Calvinists as a monster. And he's right. So with Thomas Aquinas, he safeguards freedom. Now, the real question comes in, and there are different ways of looking at predestination in the Catholic Church. But what the Catholic Church does is sets up a parameter, and Thomas meets this parameter. You know, when Thomas is coming at it, and by the way, he'll come at it in different ways. When he's coming at it from the perspective of predestination, in particular the election, he will sound quote-unquote Calvinist, but he's not. Because Thomas will also say that when it comes to salvation justification, our efficaciousness, whether we are saved or not, comes from God. However, whether we fall or not, it entirely comes from us. There you have, and I wish I had the site, I want to say question 27, but I'm not sure about that. I'll tell you what you can do is email me at tstaples@catholic.com, and I'll send you the citation from Thomas where he makes clear that the defect of grace is from man, not from God. According to Calvin, God wills those positively to go to hell that are going to hell, and he wills positively those who are going to heaven to go to heaven. The person has no choice. St. Thomas says that is false. He says the efficacious nature of grace is entirely from God, and that's true. We believe that as Catholics. But the defect of grace, and that's the key, the defect of grace is entirely from man, so that God has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with sin. And there you have the key. If you go to hell, my friend, according to Thomas Aquinas, it is entirely because of you. God has nothing to do with it. God wills each and every person's salvation, according to Thomas Aquinas. Thanks so much for your call. Please do email me. And folks, this is another reason why you need to get on the phone. Give us a call right now. You don't know how many times we have to clear up. Folks will claim Augustine is Calvinist and Thomas is Calvinist. Neither is true. When you're talking predestination, election, and such, it's a rich topic, and it's something we can't.
How wonderful for Arlie, though, that she's searching and asking those questions. So it's such a respectable, noble thing that she's on.
And Arlie, there's one last thing that I have to say, and that is St. Thomas Aquinas was a son of the church. And Thomas was very clear that when the Pope speaks, he makes the determinative decision. In fact, I was just reading yesterday, St. Thomas, he was actually referencing a quote from Pope Gelasius, a 6th century Pope, but he was actually, before he was Pope, he had written this. And so St. Thomas quotes it and makes clear in the Summa, he says, but here Pope Gelasius was not speaking as the Bishop of Rome.
Oh, yeah.
This is a private opinion, and therefore it is not determinative of the faith. Right? So that's the key in whatever issue we're dealing with. If you're battling Thomas versus Bonaventure, or Thomas versus Calvin, or Thomas versus whatever, the key with Thomas is you submit your intellect and will to the determinative, to use Thomas's language, the determinative teachings of the church. Well, folks, that's why we're here at Catholic Answers, is to give people Catholic answers. That's what we do here, but we need your help, because I am seeing right now, I think we're at the lowest ebb we've been in 2 hours right now.
More lines open than we've had all day.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lines open right now. Folks, we've got to have these conversations. We've got to continue the discussion, because every time you have a Protestant, an atheist, a Hindu, a Buddhist, whoever it is that calls, or a Catholic who wants to go deeper in his or her faith, every conversation that starts, you remember this, folks, other folks like at the coffee shop are listening. They're listening in. They turned on the radio and they said, wow, listen to this discussion, man. Yeah. These guys are talking about some pretty awesome topics. And then they start listening in, folks, and that's when it happens. We have souls convert. We have people's lives changed. But it's only going to happen, my friends, if you guys help us. Now, listen, We need your help. We're not even close to getting the match this hour, okay? So I need your help. We need your help. Can you do me a favor? Pick up that phone right now, 888-291-8000. We've got all the lines open except one right now. I can't even count that high. There's a lot of phones open right now.
You can count that high. You just
but
can't
it would
see
take
it
me
that
a while.
well.
It would take me a while. All right, so we need your help right now, folks. We got to make this match. We went from being all high on the hog in the first hour, and now we're worried about making the match. So we need your help. Maybe if you could give that $25 a month, folks. And you know what? There may be some folks, now granted, you won't get the triple match, but there may be people who can up that monthly gift. You've already given $25 a month. Can you call and maybe double that gift? Make it $50 a month. Folks, that would help us enormously. Give us a call at 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. And remember this, folks. Whenever we start, every time we start one of these radio drives, we're in the hole. Because over the last 3 months, we have lost folks. They leave. Sometimes they move away, don't have Catholic radio any longer. People die. We have various reasons why people stop giving. And so we've got to pick up the slack from where we were last time, and I believe we have. And now let's move forward, folks, at 888-291-8000. Because like I said, folks, this is paying the bills for the next 3 months, and we want to go beyond that. We want to do new projects. We've got stuff planned you guys would not believe. It's going to blow your mind, but it's cost prohibitive. We need you to help us to make it happen. One last time, 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
Whole bunch of people to thank. 888-291-8000, the number. Jim Carroll, our friend at Spirit Catholic Radio in Nebraska, donated in honor of Carlo, Cy, Stacy, Chris, and Jen, who all help with the Spirit Conference in New England. We're all going to be there October 9th for the big Catholic Answers Spirit Catholic Radio Conference. Just joined the President's Club. Latina, $84 a month. Mark gave a one-time gift of $1,000. Kathy came in at $100 a month. All of them are members of the President's Club now. Some folks who just joined Society 315 at $10 a month. That means they had their, and this is also true of those who joined President's Club, as long as it was a monthly donation, they had their pledge tripled. New Society 315 members at the $10 a month level: Susan, Judy, Linda, Anita, Ann, Rose, Gary, Lisa, Faye, Doris, Jennifer. Wow, I love reading all those names. That's a lot of names. Thanks, Marie. Thank you all so much for your support. Just joined the society, and they qualified for the two books, because at the $20 a month level, you become a member of Society 315. You get the T-shirt and all that. But at the $20 a month level, that's at the $10 a month level. At the $20 a month level, A Man Named Joseph, Guardian for Our Times, a book about St. Joseph, perfect for this year, from our own Joe Heschmeyer. And then Real Religion, the new book from Catholic Answers Press by Jeff Kirby. Who just did that? Barbara, Marcia, Marianne, Erica, Paul, Julia, Daria, Maria, Tran, and Elsa. Thank you all for your support. Also, Chris just gave $50 a month and qualified for all of that, but at $50 a month, he also qualifies for the new Catholic Answers School of Apologetics course, Trent Horn's course, Evidence for Catholic Moral Teaching, What the Church Teaches on Right and Wrong, and you get the hard copy. You get the DVDs, you get the book, you get all the supplementary materials in hard copy. 888-291-8000 is the number to call to make your pledge. If you can become a monthly donor, I would just like to remind you that any monthly donor, $10 or up, you're joining one of our giving levels at $10 or up, but it's also being tripled at this moment because we have a $15,000 dollar for dollar match. And then we have that special opportunity that we've never had before. A donor who said, I'll match monthly donors a second time up to $100,000. 888-291-8000. Please pick up that phone and call.
Did I say before, don't take it for granted, folks? I think I did.
Really?
Please don't take this for granted. This is a tremendous gift. I don't know who that donor is, but God bless that donor, because this is just an awesome opportunity. You know, you've probably been thinking about, some of you have thought about, I could give $10 a month. I could give $20 a month. Right now is the time to do it. It's going to be tripled. So I'll shut up now. 888 888-291-8000, so you can pick up that phone at 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
We don't want you to shut up. I want you to answer questions.
Yes, let's do it.
Craig in Savannah, Georgia, one of the world's great cities. Craig, glad to have you. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes.
I got challenged, and I was not sure how to answer it.
Yes.
About Matthew 23:14.
Oh,
I looked it up. I wasn't there. It skipped.
Yes.
So I was curious of what the story was of that one and how to respond to we pulled it out of the Bible.
Yes, Craig, it's a great question. And yes, there are some texts like this, although the jury is still out on this text. Another one that kind of hurts my heart, is along these lines. And for those of you who don't know, this is a text it's one of the lists of the woe be unto you, where Jesus goes through a number of cities. Woe be unto you, woe be unto you, woe be unto you. One of the woe be unto yous is questionable as to whether it was in the original Greek. And the reason is some of the most ancient manuscripts and best manuscripts don't have it. It appears that it may have been added centuries later. And the another example of this that just popped in my head is Mark 9:29. It kind of hurts my heart in a sense because it's the one where the apostles can't cast out the demon,
right?
And Jesus says this kind does not come out except with much prayer and fasting. Well, the "and fasting" was most likely what's called a gloss. A monk had written on the side of the manuscript, and it found its way into the text. But here's the beautiful thing, is that in all of the textual criticism that has been going on, especially intensely in, say, the last 150 years, what's phenomenal, brother, is how much has been verified as real.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the entirety, especially the New Testament. I mean, we are on such firm ground, even from a skeptic's point of view. It is phenomenal. But with that comes, and the church is open. The church says, look, it's God's word. It's not ours. We're the keeper, right? As 1 Corinthians 4, St. Paul says we are stewards of the mysteries of God. That is the sacraments. We are the stewards of the mysteries of God. Well, we're also the stewards of the Word of God. There would, as Martin Luther said, one thing we have to give to the papists is we would not know anything of the Scriptures except they gave them to us. Luther, in a moment of truth, acknowledged that which is an historical fact. So keep positive, my brother. Yeah, it may well be that text ends up being excised for good. The church hasn't made a definitive ruling on that. And the same with Mark 9:29, but it may well be that one goes by the wayside. But guess what? There's no essential truth of the Catholic Church that's touched by any of it. There's plenty of other verses that talk about fasting, right?
Yeah.
We need to fast. And Jesus has a litany of woe be unto yous. We can lose one, and it's not going to affect the faith. So hopefully that will help you, brother. And be excited, because remember, we're not sola scriptura Christians, right? The Word of God is crucial, absolutely. But the Word of God comes to us in both written form and in the oral tradition as it's interpreted by the magisterium. So whether a half of a verse here, a verse there, ends up not being the inspired Word of God, changes absolutely nothing with regard to our faith. And you know what, folks? That's another reason why you need to support Catholic Answers right now. Because we do have one Lord, one faith, one baptism. As St. Paul says it in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 5, we have the same essential gospel that was proclaimed by Peter on the day of Pentecost, today proclaimed by Pope Francis. There is no essential difference. That, to me, is exciting because there's no human explanation for it. You look at the Protestant communities, they can't stay together for 100 years without splitting into so many different factions and now denying essentials when it comes to the moral law as well as essential teachings of the Christian faith. We have one Lord, one faith, one baptism. Folks, that's something to get excited about, and that's something to support. Are you supporting the Catholic faith when you give to Catholic Answers? Yes, you are, because that's what we do. And I'll put this out to everybody listening right now. You show us one area where we are not proclaiming the fullness of the Catholic gospel of Jesus Christ, we'll change on a dime. We'll fix it immediately, because that's all we do. We are not about sensationalism. We're not about politics. We are about the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Does that touch on politics? You better believe it, because it's part of the essential mission of the church to proclaim the truth in matters of politics whenever the essential dignity of man and the salvation of souls require it, which is what the Catechism tells us. I believe that's paragraph 2243. Folks, but we are almost out of time, and we need your help. So, folks, don't stop calling right now. We can't be out of time. 888-291-8000. Folks, we need you to call right now, and don't stop calling, because we've got to make this match, and we're not there. 888-291-8000.
Will you do us a favor right now? Clear your mind of all other thoughts and reflect for just a moment on how Catholic Answers Live has made a difference in your life. Has our broadcast made your afternoon commute more meaningful? Perhaps you've learned how to explain the faith to family or friends in a more vibrant, convincing way. Something you heard here may have been just the thing you needed to look into joining or returning to the Catholic faith. All of these are serious reasons to be thankful, first and foremost to God, but also to all who have financially made it possible for us to air the show each day. Believe me, our gratitude could not be deeper. And we're coming to you today during our quarterly membership drive, asking you to join the ranks of the great people whose gifts and sacrifices have helped to turn around countless lives over the years, and very possibly helped make an eternal difference for many of them. Think about that for a moment. That's what your prayers and donations to Catholic Answers Live are doing. What a tremendous opportunity is being presented to you right now. Please don't let it pass you by. Call 888-291-8000 or visit CatholicAnswersRadio.com and let one of our fast, friendly customer service team members take your pledge. Large or small, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you call right now. Again, it's 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. We're offering some great appreciation gifts that are sure to deepen your faith life even more. But what's best is you'll have the confidence that when you turn your radio on tomorrow, or next week, or 12 days from now, we'll be here, boldly and charitably presenting the truth to a world that's searching for precisely that. Your pledge is vital to keeping Catholic Answers Live on the air. Will you make the call today to 888-291-8000 or donate securely online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com? Thank you so much in advance. Give now at CatholicAnswersRadio.com or 888-291-8000. God bless you.
That's inspiring us to go out and get fully funded. A little bit of groovy music to get us fired up for the last half hour. I'm Cy Kellett, your host, and Tim Staples is our guest. Thank God that we have him back. He's been attending to things, a little bit of a break from us. Amen. I think he seems happy now that he's been away from us for a little while. Well, we got him back.
Amen.
And it's open forum. Lots of folks on the line. I think we're heading to Malaysia next call. But before I do, I just want to remind you that this is our opportunity that we take once every 3 months to come and ask you to support Catholic Answers and Catholic Answers Live. This program is a part of the wider apostolate of Catholic Answers. And with this program and everything else we do right here in this studio is fully funded by your support when we come to you for just 6 hours each quarter. 6 hours each quarter, we come and ask you for your help. And like, as I said, we're going to go to Malaysia in a second, take a call from Malaysia, and Tim will answer a question. And we're doing our regular day job, but we do need to ask you for your support. There's lots of lines in use right now, which is great. There's 3 lines open. So if you want to call, 888-291-8000, perfect time. There's a few lines open, but it does feel like people have been very, very responsive this pledge drive.
Yes.
It seems like since you came back, people are really responding. I
Praise God.
I think people like you. I don't mean to sound baffled when I say
it. Because I know you don't like me, Cy. It's okay. You can say it.
I've grown fonder since you've been away. Oh, come on now, Tim. 888.
We're joking, people.
We're joking. Yeah. It's Trent we don't like. 888 888-291-8000 is the number. You can go safe and secure online to Catholic Answers Radio. I can say that because he got on a plane and he went back to Texas. CatholicAnswersRadio.com. If you're a fancy pants, you can text Catholic to 24365. Catholic to 24365 and make your donation that way. Let me just walk you through where we are so you know. A very strange thing happened. We have a donor who said, I get it. You need these monthly pledges. You need to build up that monthly pledge base. I'll put up $100,000 and I'll match dollar for dollar any new monthly donor. So if you've never given monthly before, maybe you've given to many pledge drives, but you've just never been a monthly donor before. Become a monthly donor. Everything you give matched dollar for dollar for the entire year by this donor, up to $100,000. So a lot of folks have been taking advantage of the $10 level. Just come in at the $10 level. You get the T-shirt. I mean, everybody who gives at the $10 level, you get and this is a good T-shirt.
Amen.
And you get the
I want one.
The car magnet. And it took me a little while to get mine.
Did
you? Yeah. Christine, first day, she made me join Society 315, but it was like, oh, we need to hold the shirts for the other donors. I was like, well, I'm a donor. I just joined. But I got mine, and it's really good. But Christine will not make you wait. She made me wait so that you could have your T-shirt. 888-291-8000 to come in at the $10 level. It's so simple, and there's this match, and it's a double match, and I'm actually feeling very grateful to all those who have taken advantage of it. If you can come in at the $20 level, $25, $30, $40, $50. I saw somebody just a few minutes ago came in at the $100 level. Okay. If you can do that, great. It'll all be tripled, all of it, every dollar. 888-291-8000. Go ahead.
That's again 888-291-8000. I have this fear, I've worked on it and it just doesn't go away. Especially now with this $100,000 hanging there,
right.
I just have this fear that we cannot allow any of that to go to waste, right? So, folks, I hope you get the gravity of this, and there are folks right now who can give that $100 a month. You could do that right now. Or that $10 a month, which I think we're setting records on the number of $10 a month gifts.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
It's
actually really exciting to see so many people respond with a $10 a month pledge.
You know what? You might be that one to give the $100 a month. And of course, folks, I know you're out there. We have that $10,000 gift waiting to be given right now as well. Folks, I'm about as excited as a human being gets about being back in the saddle here at Catholic Answers, seeing the buzz of what's going on up and down these halls here at Catholic Answers, folks. It is absolutely extraordinary. Please join with us. Join the family. Call 888-291-8000. Or remember, you can go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
888-291-8000, but we're going to continue to do our day job, as I promised, Pragan in Malaysia, watching on YouTube Live. And Pragan, before I go to you, I'm just going to say this to the listeners. That YouTube channel, it's all over the world now. 125,000 people subscribe to it, so I don't even know how many people watch it. 125,000 subscribers means millions of people watching it. So here's Pragan in Malaysia watching us on YouTube. Now gets to talk to Tim Staples. Pragan, you there with us?
Yeah, and I must say, Mr. Kellett, I hope you're not fed up with me calling in every now and then.
Oh, no. We love it when you... Why would we? No, we're happy to have you call. I cannot greet you in your native language. I apologize. Jimmy Akin probably can. I can't do that. But I'm delighted when you call.
That's fine. Yeah, Catholic Answers have helped many young Malaysians, especially Asians here. So, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You know what, Pragan? I've actually been to Malaysia. I wish I could remember the city I went to. It was years ago now. I was blown away, Pragan, when I went to Malaysia and thinking, who in the world's going to know who Tim Staples is? And the church I went to was wall-to-wall people. It was standing room only.
Really?
It was phenomenal. The church seems to be alive and well in Malaysia.
It's growing, and by the grace of God, it will continue to grow. Yeah.
Praise God.
Well, how can we help you, brother?
Yes. All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Staples. So, basically, so because of Catholic Answers, I'm now officially a Catholic, and I will be inducted into the RCIA program pretty soon in the next few months. However, myself and a few other Malaysians, we have this concern that's hypothetical, but we don't know if anyone has ever addressed it before. Basically, this is the dilemma. What should we do in the case, if we're just in the program, not officially Catholic yet, if a mortal sin were to be committed? Because obviously the confessional is not privileged to us; it's restricted to Catholic. And so I'm worried as to what we should do in that situation if mortal sin were to be committed. That's essentially my primary concern, and a few others here in Malaysia.
Yes. Are you a catechumen?
Yes, I am.
I
myself am a catechumen.
Oh, praise God, brother. Oh, you're about to get your socks blessed off, my friend. But Pragan, here's the key. It depends, of course, whether if you were in a situation where you're coming into full communion with the church versus a catechumen. For you, a catechumen, a lot of folks make a very, very bad mistake in thinking, well, I'm going to be baptized, so I might as well get all the sinning out right now. And that is you can't put into words the level of tragedy that is, because as you know, brother, if you fall into mortal sin, you have to be sorry in order to be forgiven of that sin. And so on your way as a catechumen, if someone falls into mortal sin, you repent. You say, Lord, please forgive me of this sin, because that is a necessary requirement for the fruits of baptism to be effective in your soul. See, because somebody's being baptized, and we're told, and it's true, all your sins and punishment due for sins are taken away. And that's true on the objective level. People think, well, I can sin all I want then, and then I'm going to have them taken away. No, you're not. Because all you will get is the mark, because that is infallibly communicated to everyone who is validly baptized, but you will not get the sanctifying grace unless you are sorry for your sins, right? And so it's huge that those who are preparing as catechumens are doing penance and reflecting and studying and asking God for their forgiveness. Because remember, Pragan, grace builds on nature. It never destroys nature. So if someone is building up bad habits in sin on a natural level, it's not as though, oh, I'm baptized now, they're all going to go away. No, they're not. You're still going to have those habits, because there are habits on a supernatural level and there are habits on a natural level. And what is a habit? Right? Well, a virtue versus a vice. A virtue is a habit of the soul that inclines us to act in accordance with right reason. A vice is a habit of the soul that inclines us to act contrary to right reason. So if you're building up vice after you're baptized, you're still going to have that tendency, and it's going to be a mess for you. Of course, there's always hope in Jesus, and any time after a person is baptized, let's say they're baptized but they weren't sorry for their sins, they still get the mark on their soul, and they have the right to the other sacraments in accordance with their calling. So if at some later date you repent truly, well, then you get the sanctifying grace that you didn't get on the day of your baptism. Does that make sense? See, does that make sense, Pragan? So the key, Pragan, for catechumens is to study, rejoice in Jesus, ask him to transform you. And remember, God gives you graces, prevenient graces, even before you get to the waters of baptism as well. At times, of course, God gives people like Cornelius,
you're right,
gave him the fullness of the sacrament of confirmation before he even got to baptism, right? I mean, God can do what God wants to do. So get excited, repent of your sins. Now, for those who are coming into full communion with the church, that's another story, because then you go to confession before you receive First Communion.
Could I ask you something about that?
Yes.
Okay, so Pragan's a catechumen.
Yes.
Can he make an act of contrition and
Absolutely.
So like just like you could make a spiritual communion, you can confess to God and make an act of contrition.
Yes, and that's a great point, Pragan, to remember. You should be making regular acts of contrition. Oh my God, I'm heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins because I dread the pains of hell, loss of heaven, most of all because I've offended thee, my God, or all good, deserving of all my love. You should make that regular. And
you're really good at that. You've said that a lot of times. That's not the first time for Tim Staples on that one.
and spiritual acts of communion, Pragan. Remember, my Lord, I long to receive you with the purity and humility with which your most holy mother received you, with the spirit and fervor of the saints. We should be praying that regularly, longing for the day where we can receive him. And when you do, you get grace. God gives grace in ways we won't even know this side of the veil. But God loves you, Pragan, and that's the most important point. Love Jesus, love God, and want to live for him, and you can't lose, man. God's going to bless your socks off, like I said.
It's such good news when you call and tell us that you're coming into the church. I hope you will continue to call. I hope you feel welcome here anytime. We'd be happy to take your call. And actually, I'll have to be honest with you. We got to ask people for donations here in a second, but it makes us look good when people from Malaysia call. That makes it, don't you? It makes us look important, like we're worldwide. We're not just national. We're worldwide. So thanks, Pragan, for making us look good. I hope you'll call again. 888-291-8000 is the number.
And we just lost all our calls.
We did?
We did. Let's go.
I thought you were talking about
888-291-8000. No,
there's nobody on the line. You're right. Okay, yeah.
Well,
now there's two. Okay, 888-291-8000, 888-291-8000. If you've never been a monthly donor before to Catholic Answers, this is your opportunity. Sorry, Marie. Watch this. 888-291-8000. She's been telling me all day, stop, slow down. But I didn't listen, and I apologize, Marie.
And you know what, Cy? Let me ask you guys right now a question. What price would you put on? How many times have we heard, Cy, people call in? Sometimes they're anti-Catholics. Sometimes have a chip on the shoulder. And at the end of just 10 minutes with Jimmy Akin or Tim Staples or Trent Horn, you hear this holy, oh.
Yeah, right.
How many times have we heard that? It's, I have never thought of it that way. I'm going to have to study. And then we hear sometime later that person is about to become Catholic. What would you pay for that? It's priceless. This is what happens on Catholic Answers Live all the time. We've heard it so many times, folks. But right now, we're falling behind. We need your help, guys. We need some folks to call right now, even if it's a one-time gift, $100, $25, $20. Do that monthly pledge and you'll get it tripled. $10 a month, $100 a month, $25 a month. But we need your help now, folks, because right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 open lines, my friends. And hey, a couple of them just got filled. We have at least 10 lines right now, folks, waiting for you at 888-291-8000. Don't let this time pass. We need your help. We got to have some more monthly donors that would be willing to give that $25 a month and get it tripled. Don't you think, Cy?
I'm sure there are, yeah.
And could we have that one, folks, that could really just put us over the top big time, that can give that $1,000 gift? Or how about that $10,000 gift, folks? Because we want to just not only go over, we want to take this to a new level, new podcasts, new things that we want to do that are going to blow your mind. Call us.
888-291-8000 is the number to call, 888-291-8000. I want to stress again, there's 4 giving levels during this pledge drive. There's 2 matches each hour. We've been having a $15,000 dollar for dollar match, but there's this special match that I really would like to encourage you to take advantage of a donor who said, I'll match up to $100,000 any new monthly pledges. Any new monthly pledges, match it for the whole year up to $100,000. So let me tell you the different levels, and we will go right back to the phone so Tim can answer some more questions. 888-291-8000 is the place to call. If you call and make a $10 pledge, You're part of that brand new match, and you're a member then of Society 315. You'll get a little box from Society. You get an email, and then you respond to the email. You get a box with the T-shirt and the car magnet, and then all kinds of. You get a coupon code for discounts at shop.catholic.com. But then also, what we're hoping is to communicate with you, to have a back and forth, so that we'll have events, lots of events, some live, many virtual, so that we can stay in touch with folks in Society 315. That's at the $10 level. You're in at $10. At the $20 level, same match. But you're in the Society 315, but you get the book, A Man Named Joseph, Guardian for Our Times, and you get the second book, Real Religion. Those are by Joe Heschmeyer and Father Jeff Kirby. $20 a month. If you can do that and take advantage of the match at the same time, how extraordinary. If you can come in at $45 a month or more, all of that, plus Trent Horn's School of Apologetics course, Catholic Answers School of Apologetics, Evidence for Catholic Moral Teaching, What the Church Teaches on Right and Wrong. And I said there's 4 giving levels. That's 3, $10, $20, $45. If you can come in at $84 a month or more, it comes to $1,000 a year, $84 a month or more. You're also a member of our President's Club, which entitles you to get anything we publish this year for free. You just call up or send an email, say, I want it. We send it to you. Whether it's a CD, that Carlo makes, or a new book from Trent, or whatever, all of it. You want the magazine? Get it for free. If we publish it, you get it. That's at $84 a month. And many, many people have been responding. We're very grateful to it. As Tim said, the phones went a little bit silent there for a little while, but they're picking up. But there's still lots of lines open. The people that you talk to when you call, it's Imelda in finance. If you're lucky, it's Imelda in finance. She's the most fun person in the building. But you could be talking with David, who was in here earlier, David Matheson, the head of our development, or you could be talking to one of the apologists, or there's, but they're here to answer your phone and talk to you.
I know Carlo's answering as fast as he can.
Yep. There's no one more diligent than Carlo. 888-291-8000. Let me thank a few people, Tim, and then we'll go back to the lines.
Yes.
Just joined the President's Club. David P. gave $1,000. John R. pledged $100 a month. Just joined Society 315 at $10 a month. Rose, Bonnie, Annie, Joachim, Stephen, Mel, Kathy, Cheryl, James, John, Bob, Ellen, Lillian, Kelowna, and Kim. Thank you all so much. Just got all of the matching gifts, including the Evidence for Catholic Moral Teaching course from Tim Staples, because they came in at $50 a month. Edward, Brian, Michael, Patrick, and John from Anchorage, Alaska. Holy smokes, John. Thank you for that call. Just gave $2,500.
Praise God.
$2,500 one-time gift.
Thank you, John.
Thank you all for your support. There are a few lines open, 888-291-8000. If any of those levels will work for you, please help us use up all of this $100,000 special match we have. 888-291-8000. Now we go to Washington, D.C., watching on YouTube Live. Matthew in Washington, D.C., thank you so much for your call. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
No, absolutely. This actually wasn't my question, but I'm curious. If I'm already a monthly contributor, if I call and increase it, will the delta be matched?
I don't know what the delta is. Oh, the difference? What's?
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? Like, you don't use fancy math terms with me. You know that I'm helpless as a babe in the woods when you start with the math. But
forgive me.
I'll tell you what. I'll find out. And Marie says yes.
Up?
Marie says yes.
Wow.
Marie's in charge. Believe
Fantastic.
me. So Marie says yes.
Okay.
So do you want to hang up and make your pledge now, or do you want to ask another question?
Let me ask the question first.
Okay. Let me just get your credit card number real quick, Matthew. Go ahead. Say your credit card number. No, I'm only kidding. Don't do it. I'm only playing.
Maybe I should start with my Social Security.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Go ahead with your question for Tim.
So I have another Eastern Catholicism question.
Yes.
So I went to my first Melkite. It was a Vesper service recently, which is obviously in the Byzantine Rite, and it got me thinking. I've always understood that sort of the reason that we preserve all 24 different particular churches across in 6 rites across those 24 churches is so essentially that the same truth can be manifested accurately across different languages, different cultures, different patrimony, and
Correct.
So far so good. But from my posture in the United States, I perceive, or something in the back of my mind whispers, that there is some tension with the idea but there are 3 different bishops who each have some kind of responsibility for me, at least at some level of generality. Is there some kind of fundamental tension there with these sort of overlapping, bishoprics, or am I making something out of nothing?
Right.
How is that tension resolved, and what would be the limits of organizing a universal church kind of this way? Right. And sort of specifically, I wondered if the early church fathers gave us anything to help us think through sort of the propriety of this.
You sure you don't have any more questions, man? I want to make sure I get them all in. Go ahead.
And by the way, thank you for asking that question, because this is really important, folks. You can up your monthly pledge, and it does get tripled, right?
Is that? Oh, I'm gonna verify.
Let's make
this.
sure.
I don't want to give any promises that I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I understood the question perfectly. So
certainly, it
answer the Melkite question.
Yes, I'll answer the Melkite,
and I'll figure that out.
Okay. Well, Matthew, it's a great question, but understand that you're correct. That it depends upon how you number the rites. The Catechism numbers them as 8 major rites, 22 churches. Sometimes they're counted a little bit differently, but you're generally in the ballpark. And they do come out of different cultures, languages, and such. And that's so important because God respects us. We have to get that through our heads. And it's a daunting thought, really. It's a humbling thought. But God respects our natures. He respects our freedom, right? I always say, Cy, he'll let you go to hell if you want to, because he respects you and he respects your nature. He respects your freedom. So there is also a respect for culture that we need as Catholics, because God respects cultures. And there's good in each culture. James chapter 1, verse 17, every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of light. So there's that inherent goodness that we see written into the very creation. God said it is good, 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 very good, right? In the 6 days of creation. And that's crucial in understanding the organic growth of these various rites. They meet the needs of people where they are in the cultures in which they live, so that the faith can be vivified in them. Now, but the church is not so rigid, and by the way, never has been so rigid to say, oh, you're a Latin person, get out of here, we don't want you in here. That's not the way the church looks at it. And so she's not worried. There is no tension as far as, well, we can't have so many of these Latin Rite people going over to that Maronite church. You know what? I take my kids, I just gave a talk at a Maronite parish the other night. And about a week before that, I took my kids over for a liturgy, and we looked at the beautiful Stations of the Cross and their incredible statue of Our Lady of Lebanon that is just gorgeous. And we went up there at nighttime. It was beautiful. And the Maronites love it. And you know why? They love to brag about it.
Yeah.
We go over there and they say, oh, look at these Latin Rite kids. Let's show them what we have. And so that's what I believe the spirit is in the church, is the different rites come out of the culture, out of the people themselves to minister to the people where they are, but it blossoms out for the whole church. And in the same way, the bishops, yes, bishops have particular authority over the people that are theirs, but the Code of Canon Law also says that each bishop has a responsibility to the universal church as well. They have a particular responsibility to those over whom they have authority, right? So the Latin Rite bishop has particular authority over Latin Rite Catholics, as do the Byzantine Rite in the same area have an authority that the Latin Rite bishop doesn't have over those people. But there's no tension. There is responsibility to a lesser degree to the entire church. And it really makes sense when you understand that ultimately we are one big family, with one Papa in Rome. And really, when you see it that way, it becomes such a blessing. You can, as a Latin Rite person, go and see a Maronite Mass. I love it when Father Paquin, I go to his house and he does it in Aramaic. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm the subdeacon for him when he celebrates in Aramaic. And when they do the Aramaic Mass here, at St. Ephraim's, it's beautiful. So when we all see that in the context of rejoicing in these rites that bring out different aspects of beauty, there is no tension whatsoever. And folks, I have a little tension right now because we're running out of time. Now, this time we are running out of time.
Yeah, we are.
And we do need your help, folks. Please get on the phone. We need this final push right now to take us over the top. Call us, 888-291-8000. That's 888-291-8000. Get that last gift in. Give that monthly pledge. $20, $30. Get it in there or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
888-291-8000. Safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Or if you're a fancy pants, text the word Catholic to 24365. 24365. And any of those three ways, your donation will get to us and get the appropriate match. I'm just so grateful to God for all you've given, and I am so grateful to God that Tim Staples is back. Tim, it's great to work with you again.
Cy, I love you, brother. It's great to be here, and God bless. Thank you all that have called, and don't stop calling, right? When can they call till?
Till 10 past the hour.
10 past the hour, so keep calling.